Today I'm going to be doing a textured art piece. I've got the joint compound out and a couple of texture combs that I'm going to use, and we're just going to jump straight in. So what I thought I might do is just add some of this. I don't think I'm going to put it all over the canvas, but I want to create circles with the texture combs, but I also want non-circle areas as well. So let's just get this on and play with it, I think. So I don't want full circles, I want some of them broken up. So at the moment I'm just applying it randomly. That may be enough. Let's try that. Now the good thing about playing with texture paste, well, this is joint compound in this case, is that you can create the textures how you would like, and if you don't like the outcome you can just smooth it over and start again. I'm just trying to get it sort of a semi-even layer because that was like really thick just there. I might get a bigger one out. Just smooth it off a bit. Let's go this way. Create some of that sort of grungy texture that I like. And then we're going to put some structure in with the combs. And now I'm going to get these out. And what do I want to do? Let's put one here. A circle or a half circle. So to do a circle, you want to start with one corner and go, leave that corner where it is and go all the way around. So let's try that. Do I want a focal point? A full circle here? Maybe. All right, let's try it out. Not sure how to deal with that. The middle's messed up. Do I want to do that again? This is what I'm saying, so you can. I did like it there though, so let's try that again. Nice, much better. Also got this other one that will leave a bit of a different pattern. So let's try that one here. Don't know if I like that. But I want it kind of grungy. That's fine. Alright, let's try a small one here. Ooh. Oh, this is going to be hard. There we go. That worked. Let's put one here. So it should go off slightly. What else? I could overlap one. It could be cool. It's like, how many circles do I want and how much sort of empty space do I want? Might take that out. That could be fun. something up here. Maybe another small one. Cool. Okay, I like it. I'm not sure about this bit. I feel like we need something different there, so maybe that will be ideal. We've got sort of some missing bit. This is nice and crisp, you know, something a little different there. Just wet my finger, smooth off the edges. And I might tidy bits up with sandpaper, but I kind of want this a little rough. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, it's the next day and this is nice and dry. And I just want to take off some of these little peaks. I'm going to use some sandpaper. I think this is 80 grit. Okay, and now I'm just going to give it a light coat of gesso, just where the texture is. Might just wet it down a bit as well. Just because I'm running out, I need to like let it spread a bit easier, I think. Okay, so just putting a light coating of gesso on to seal the texture. The canvas was already primed with gesso, I buy it that way, but because I put the texture on, that needed priming as well. Okay, I'm going to talk you through what happened next, as it didn't quite go to plan. I started with a wash of colours to give me an idea of where I'd like them to go. I used some titanium buff white and some yellow ochre, and then adding in some raw sienna and using a bit of water to help spread it. Then bringing in some sap green with some darker areas and blending it in. And then finally adding in some turquoise blue. So at this stage I already wasn't too sure about it. So I grabbed some of the Prussian phthalo blue and I experimented with that. I worked on bringing in different tones of the blue and the green. And then I thought I'd give it some more character by adding some Van Dyke brown and some warm sienna with a sponge. Then I tried dripping on some thinned out paints and thought that might give it some character. And then went back to the blue-green colour palette. I tried to bring out a little of the texture in the flatter areas. I introduced the warm earthy tones again, which gave it a little something. But in the end, I decided to stop and let it dry. Okay, so I let this dry overnight and I'm really not happy with the way it's going. It's just something about it that's not hitting it for me. So that was this color palette here. I'm going to completely change this and go with this color palette here. And I will introduce some of this antique silver leaf as well. So I thought that might be a little bit interesting. May leave some bits of background in, I'm not quite sure yet, but it's going to be a really light piece now. So probably the biggest change I've made to a painting, I would say, but I'm not happy. I do really like the circles. Let's just get some of this white down, I think. Actually, you know what? I might use my 3-inch paddle brush. So let's wet that. And let's just... So you can see the background through, which I thought might be the case. Let's just see what happens if I leave these blue circles. It might just inspire something, because I can always paint over it. You can see already it's looking quite a bit different. Just curious to see what happens if I paint all the non-circle bits. Obviously I've crossed over, that's fine. Just trying to get ideas here. I'm feeling like maybe these circles will be darker and these two might be lighter. Sort of goes like that, doesn't it? I think so. I think that's kind of, these will still be sort of a mid colour. I feel like I might want to leave some of that though. Let's introduce a bit of the grey and the warm grey. That's nice. I'm just going to get like a background in. Interesting. And just change the colour of this one. I wonder if I should leave that part. It's got little bits of green in it. I don't know. Bit of white maybe. What I think I want to do is try using palette knife. I think I might remove it. I've decided. Just outlining it a bit, making it a bit crisper. This one kind of fades, which I like. All right, let's work on some of this. Not sure. Alright, how am I going to do this? I think it needs a dry brush. This one's pretty dry. Let's try this. Cool. Alright, I like the background. That's giving me the vibes that I wanted. I might need to make a little bit of like a blue, but not that dark. I feel like that's going to be possibly a little dark. I might, before I do that, I might come across this. Right, let's try this darker colour. Could be a problem. No, it seems alright. Might put a little bit over here. Maybe this one. Let's go a little darker. I feel like I just want to bring a bit of this up in here, and I think the only way to do that is with a palette knife. Okay, so I've let this dry for another day and I am ready to do some bling. Let's add some of this antique silver. So I bought a packet of gold leaf online, so I'm not sure of the quality of this stuff, but I'm going to use my Express It size because that works well. I don't want it everywhere. I think what I might have to do is do a few sections and leave it, put the silver leaf on, and then see if I want to add any more. And what am I going to use to apply it? Let's put the size in a clean spot. Made such a mess. Put the size there. And maybe I'll use this just to grab the tops. Something like that. Maybe a little bit here. Down here. I've got a lot going on this side. I need to add a bit more out there. I was going to go easy, wasn't I? I think we'll just apply it to those spots first and then decide. That has to get tacky over the next 15 minutes. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I don't really like this, what I did in here. Something's not quite right there. Let's see what paint we got left over. Cool. Just a little bit of the maybe the brown, the warm grey. I like that. Alright, I'll bring you back when the size is dry and we'll put some bling on. Alright, this has been drying for a little while and it's nice and tacky. So now let's try out this antique silver leaf. Oh, okay. Not sure how it's going to fall apart. This is I think this is thinner than the last stuff I used. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure how well this stuff is going to work. It's like almost see-through. That's how thin it is. Maybe let's try it this way. I think it's a little bit too fine, but it'll do the job, just not the best to work with. Alright, I'm going to try brushing that off. Let's see what we get from that. Got this more bristly brush as well. So sparkly. Gosh. Alright. Might need a vacuum cleaner. Oh. Okay. It's very pretty though. I'm just deciding if I want any more. Like a little bit here, maybe. Add a bit more there as well. Ooh. Soak it up maybe. It's going to probably match that bit in there. That's okay. It's fine. Why go this way? I might cover it all with one sheet. Now, I would probably suggest that you probably should wear a mask, because this is very fine. So I'm just going to grab a mask and then we're going to brush it off. Okay. I like that there's none on this one. This is supposed to be a really light, subtle one, and I don't think we need any on that one. Let's have a look at the final result. Okay, here is the final result. And look at that glitter. That silver leaf is so pretty. I love the lightness of this circle here. And this one up here that sort of blends in. And the pops of warm grey that I added towards the end, I also think it just gave it a bit of a lift. But yeah, this one turned out really pretty. It just goes to show you, you know, making a drastic change can just improve the painting so much. I just wasn't happy with the way the other colour palette was going, and now I'm in love with it. So I hope you got something out of that one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the texture as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye.